Greetings to the Munich Innovation Night. I'm recording this video from my office in Kiev. Unfortunately, war-related issues made me cancel a visit to the conference. As the second anniversary of the full-scale invasion is approaching, it's fair to say that this is the most technologically advanced war in human history. Here in Ukraine, we are drafting a new doctrine of warfare. Basically, every day we reinvent the usage of technologies at the front line. The biggest game changer of tech war definitely became drones. Our key project is Army of Drones. In 2023, we made a real-life tech revolution. 98% of drones fighting at the front line are made in Ukraine. The amount of produced drones reached mark of 300,000 pieces last year. And this year we have a pretty feasible goal to produce 1 million FPV drones. Spoiler from me. Of course, we will also work on increasing strike, long-range and naval drones in Ukraine. To achieve this 100 times growth of the drones market, we as a government created a so-called fast track for innovations, meaning that we simplified dozens of bureaucratic procedures and got rid of unnecessary ones. Favorable tax regime, exempt of import duties, and many more. You can see these initiatives at the slide. We made a decision to open the market. We gave the advantage to private business to produce, and as the state we fund them with big contracts and orders. And private companies made impossible things. Started to produce brand new for Ukraine and world categories of drones, FPV drones. These guys are the cheapest. $300 drone which is able to hit and destroy tanks as precisely as artillery. Massive production, game changer at the front line. Technology is evolving day by day, and now has its big moment with night vision. Strike copters, powerful UAVs, which are used for hitting enemies' positions and warehouses up to 30 kilometers deep from zero line. Long-range drones. Surprising news coming from Russia these days. This year, Ukrainian special services are able to plan such operations as they fully supplied with the long-range drones. Naval drone fleet against Russian Black Sea fleet. This is Magura, the first Ukraine's naval drone, which apparently became one of the biggest newsmakers in Black Sea. We believe in the idea of this drone. Fundraised money for the first prototypes via United 24 fundraising platform. And what happened next. You can see footage from the latest operations in Black Sea. In the last 2 weeks, 2 Russian vessels have sunk near Crimea, Ivanovets and Caesar Kunikov. Naval drone is a pure asymmetric response which is provided by technologies. For example, the drone fleet has opened Ukraine to the grain corridor in a Black Sea. Russians are so afraid of them that they started to hide their 100 millions vessels far away from Ukraine's coastline. One thing is increasing the production capabilities, but quite another is to understand whether these drones are efficient enough, in which missions and how they were used. What's the percentage and nature of hit targets? Whether the drones are convenient to use. At some point last year, we've understood the need to track all these data possible. Step by step, we came up with idea to establish specifically UAV strike units. Now we have over 60 such combat units. They provide significant feedback both for military and drones producers. R&D and mission planning relies on the information from the strike units. Here you can see the report on destroyed hardware and manpower by UAV strike units in the last 7 months. Incredible results of Ukrainian people and Ukrainian drones. 50% of armored vehicles and tanks are destroyed by drones. But I believe this number could be even more. On this slide, all statistics have its photo or video proof. So we are sure that this number is truthful. Big changes are also ongoing in terms of digitizing the army. We have few flagship big data and analytics products. Situational awareness tool Delta. It covers the needs of military on the ground with providing them as much information as possible. Also, we use for these purposes one of the Palantir product. Pretty new and useful product is Neon. It collects all data after the cruise missile or drone's attack. Mainly the routes of air objects. This helps to predict routes for the next attacks and plan accordingly the work and positions for air defense. In terms of digitizing processes, in December last year, we've dealt with logistics crisis on drones distribution. System has failed as Ukraine produces the biggest amount of drones ever. To solve this problem, we've implemented SAP product. As far as drone track has been established and successfully tested, our team now is working on scaling up national production of electronic warfare and robotic systems. Also, drone ammunitions. We have already first results, and hopefully next year, this will be a presentation on Army of Robots and Army of Electronic Warfare. Jamming is quite a challenge. Our idea is to scale up its production as much as possible the same way we had with drones, by opening the market and creating favorable conditions. Every trench needs to have its own EW system. Planning of radio frequencies usage is also on the agenda, as it requires to become an essential part of the warfare doctrine. Let me highlight once again, in Ukraine we are fighting with innovations made in Ukraine. I encourage you all to join us in drafting the warfare doctrine of the new age. Ukraine is the best test ground for any kind of innovations. Today we receive your technology for the test, tomorrow we scale it 100 times. Few ways to join us. Donate to the defense sector within United 24 fundraising platform so we have funds to do more. Another way is more exciting. Here is QR code which leads you to Brave One. This is our Defense Innovations Cluster. If you have technology or product which you consider should be tested and approved in Ukraine, fill up the form. We will contact you to work on it. Thank you for inviting me to speak today. Slava Ukraini!